Welcome, everybody. Welcome. And this is your July 9th Raw review for Tables, Ladders, and Talk. I am your host, Lucky Luciano, and we are going to get into the review. Uh, Monday Night Raw was coming from you tonight from the TD Garden Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Once again, we open up with who? Wonderful Roman Reigns. We got Roman Reigns walking to the ring, and he's confronted by Bobby Lashley. As soon as the fans see him in the back, both of them in the back, they start booing, chanting Boston Celtics, everything else but what the pop that Vince is looking for. It's not gonna work, Vince. It's not gonna happen. Give it up. Why are they even fighting? That's one of my main uh, questions. Is what is this about? Um, I don't get it. There's no reason for these guys to be fighting. So we get the opening promo. See if I can get it up here for you guys, and here we go.
Insist on knowing. I'm going out to my ring, so I suggest you get up out of my way.
I suggest you go out there and call me out. As a matter of fact, I've been waiting all day, praying that you call me out. Because if you do, I'm not coming to talk. I'm coming to tear you apart. I'm sorry. Carry on.
All right, and that was your first promo. Once again, we have to open up with Roman Reigns. It's just not right to open up Monday Night Reigns without Roman Reigns. So then we go down to the ring for Roman Reigns in ring promo with Bobby Lashley. So it continues, and let's see. Here we go.
I've literally never had anybody stare me in the face and say, go out there and call me out, Roman. So I don't know about you, Boston, but I'm curious about what Bob can do.
Bob.
So Bobby Lashley,
Bob.
get your ass
What
out
Bob
here
can
because
do.
I am calling you out.
It's what Lashley asked for. I'm anxious to find out what Bobby Lashley not only can do, but what he will do. But Roman Reigns is going to get his opportunity to find out because here comes Lashley.
Hold on a second. Gentlemen, this is not going to happen tonight. Save it for this Sunday.
Lashley with the heat. The
So then they start brawling.
Here we go. Reigns and Lashley. The brawl's underway. Part of the Raw locker room heading down.
Then you get the whole locker room come out trying to split them up. You have the likes of Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, the Authors of Pain, some of your really heavy hitters out there trying to break up Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Then the biggest spot, Roman Reigns does a suicide over the top fucking rope and clears the whole entire WWE roster with one splash. Like this is amazing. So we move from this. This was literally like the first 20 minutes. We move from this, and then we go to Alexa Bliss and Mickey James watching all the chaos unfold backstage. And they're planning on their match with Natalia and Nia Jax. Now, just the one question about the Natalia and Nia Jax friendship thing. Isn't Natalia besties with Ronda Rousey, who was just beefing with Nia Jax like 3.5 weeks ago, 3.5, 4 weeks ago for the Raw Women's title? So why are you now her friend? I don't get how all of this is supposed to work. So we have Mickey James and Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax and Natalia. Let's see if we have the backstage promo.
Corey, you have to believe that it.
No, okay, that's not the promo. Just a couple of the highlights. Basically, Alexa Bliss does normally what she does in every match: avoid wrestling. She avoids wrestling. Mickey, pretty much did most of the work. Jax Tate took Mickey to the corner, tags Natalia. Natalia gets in, and then goes for a sharpshooter. It's blocked. Then she tags in Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss gets floored by Natty, and then she avoids a sharpshooter and slides to the outside. She baseball slides, kicks both her and Mickey James to the floor. Natalia then brings Bliss back in, rolls her up, misses, and then they go to break, of course. Mickey takes Natalia into the corner for kicks when you come back from break. Bliss tags in and works Natalia a little bit over in the corner. Jax gets the hot tag after a little while. Floors Mickey, knocks Bliss off the apron. Then Jax splashes Mickey in the corner, keeps control. Mickey fights her, and then Jax fights her off. Jax screams for a pop. Scoops up Mickey, presses her, does a high press, drops her, runs on the rope for a leg drop, and Nia Jax pins Mickey James for the win. The one thing I can say about this match is Nia Jax looked pretty good tonight. Normally, she doesn't look that good, but she looked really good. As far as like a dominant force in the ring, she looked good tonight. Man, I was believing that she could be the dominant force that she's supposed to be. Afterwards, backstage, we get Nia being interviewed by Charlie Caruso, and I believe I have this promo here.
Nia,
Yeah, here we go.
excuse me. Alexa Bliss, she's used every line of attack possible against you. She's insulted you behind your back. She's mocked you. She's called you a bull.
I don't need you to go through the whole list, Charlie, okay? That's just a reminder that Alexa will try anything to try to wear me down. But it won't work. She cannot break me. But I can break her. This Sunday, I'm gonna use Alexa like I did that kendo stick and snap her in half. Anything goes in an Extreme Rules match. And trust me, I'm not gonna forget everything that Alexa's done to me. From all the mocking stories she's told the world, to all the lies she's said to my face. I'm gonna be paying it back to Alexa, inch by crushing inch. And I'm gonna take back my Raw Women's Championship.
All right, and now, one thing I left out is immediately after the match, Alexa Bliss grabs a kendo stick and immediately tries to go and whack Nia with it. Nia grabs it, snatches it out of her hand. Alexa rolls out of the ring, backing up the ring, scared. Nia takes the kendo stick, breaks it over her leg. That's why I said she looked like a real dominant force tonight. Man, I was really impressed by her look. A little different from the, I'm tired of being bullied, Nia. So then we go from there. We have a backstage we have a backstage set with Kurt Angle and Kevin Owens, pretty much recapping what had happened the previous week. Owens rants about Angle, and Braun Strowman says Angle would like just to fire him because he has connections. Owens goes on and brings up last week's toilet incident. And Angle laughs at him. Oh, and so Owens is like, oh, well, this is funny to you. So Owens is like, well, you won't find this funny. I have a doctor's note saying I'm not cleared to wrestle tonight. So Owens, basically sets up in Kurt Angle's office saying, man, this is the safest place for me to be tonight. I'm going to set up in here, and I'll be here all night. So then we move from that to week number 3 of Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose. Do you care? I don't. Basically, Mojo Rawley wins the match with Alabama Slam. Covers No Way Jose for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it. Again, I don't know why this is on TV. It has no substance, really. There's no reason why these guys don't like each other. I mean, it's just a pointless feud at this point. I mean, I want to see, you could have easily put them backstage with psychiatrists and gave Sasha Banks and Bayley some in-ring time and have them feuding over something that's a little more organically been coming along than this. Let's see what happened after that. Right. So speaking of that, the next segment was backstage. We're getting an update with Bayley and Sasha. At this point, they let the psychiatrist from last. Dr. Shelby is no longer with them. And now they have a new psychiatrist. So then they switch from that, and then we go to Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins backstage.
Jinder, what's up? Life is beautiful. Instead of burning it down, one must embrace it. And you can find inner peace if you chant my mantra.
As long as he stay out the ring,
And
I
that's
don't
really
mind
deep,
seeing
maybe.
Jinder Mahal.
I never thought about this, but maybe when I'm burning it down, I'm actually burning pieces of my soul. Please, help me.
Follow my lead. Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.
So they start to chant, Jinder and Sunil Singh. They start doing the chant, and Seth just like smooth slides on out. Then we come back, and Seth Rollins has now made his way to the ring, and great pop. The man standing there for I don't know how long, and man, he's saying that he basically told the fans, man, he's been called a lot of things, anywhere from Monday Night Rollins to the King Slayer to Burn It Down. He was like, man, but unfortunately, the one thing that he can't stop calling himself is former Intercontinental Champion. Now, I like where they went because they're keeping the focus on the belt, which is where it needs to be. This is wrestling. So we get a nice promo here. Let me see how much of it I got recorded for you guys.
Over the years, you guys have given me some pretty sweet nicknames. Mr. Money in the Bank, actually. I won that here in Boston. Kingslayer, the architect, the man, Monday Night Rollins. But right now, to me, the only moniker that matters is former Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins. The good news is
Damn mosquito bite, man. These mosquitoes out here getting vicious.
to change that.
Like little fucking vampires, man. Jesus.
Because in 1 week at Extreme Rules, I go one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler for 30 minutes. And the man who scores the most victories
I always thought an Iron Man match was 60
in that
minutes,
time
but
frame becomes
we'll
the
go with it.
Iron Man and leaves Extreme Rules the Intercontinental Champion. Now look, Dolph's no walk in the park, man. He's no joke. He's fast, he's a veteran, he's savvy. Dolph is gonna bring the fight, and I'm looking forward to that. I love testing myself against the absolute best. The problem is he's also gonna bring that overgrown Scottish rookie Drew McIntyre with him too.
Thanks for all those kind words, Seth. We really should talk about how good I am more often on the show. Now, don't be fooled for a second, you see. I'm not just gonna bring my quickness and agility and rugged good looks and this giant
The best feud going on
psychopath
Raw
Drew
right now
McIntyre
is this
with me.
one.
I'm also gonna bring this. When it comes to that Iron Man match at Extreme Rules, I'm so good, I may win 5-0, 10-0, 100-0, 1,000-0.
Whoa, man, hey, you've been bleaching your hair for too long, man. I think that peroxide's getting to your brain. You might want to go see a doctor. We got any good physicians in the house? Check them out.
They got some great jokes, Seth. But here's the reality check that you needed. You win an Iron Man match by racking up victory after victory, beating your opponent over and over until that scoreboard is so filled with victories, and after 30 minutes, you walk out the champion. Now, I'm not one to brag, but back at Kent State University, I racked up so many victories. When I walked out that door, I was the all-time winningest wrestler.
I bet Drew helped you win all those too, right? Drew, I didn't know you graduated from Kent State, man. What was your degree in?
All right, you're quite the comedian tonight, Seth. It doesn't matter where I've been.
Yeah, I don't like Jerry Seinfeld, Seth Rollins. I don't.
We know
Like,
where
man,
you're
let's
going, man. Wherever Dolph tells you to go.
you know,
Why
man,
you letting him
get back
lead
to
you
being
around on a leash?
the
I
real
just
Seth
don't
Rollins.
Oh, he knows your secrets. Tell me there are no photographs, man. Please, look, I know it gets lonely in Scotland, but there are only so many sheep to go around, Drew. Please tell me there's no photographs. Hey, please.
You want to call yourself the man? Let's see how much of a man you really are. Fight me tonight.
All right, Drew, you want to fight? You gotta fight, but hey, you better be very careful, my man, because I am a bad man. A bad man.
McIntyre's had enough, and he goes right after Seth Rollins, and Seth.
And then, you know, so Seth got out the ring. They charged the ring. Seth got out of the ring. And the match was made for later on in the night. So then we come back to the ring, and then we have once again we've got Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel making fun of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt again. This is getting ridiculous. In my opinion. Like, man, it's old, it's tired. The shtick isn't funny anymore. Man, it was funny maybe the first week. You know, but it's too much at this point. Too much. So pretty quick, basic match. They come out, they do their little shtick. Basically, you know, another distraction by Curtis Axel. Bray Wyatt comes around and attacks Axel on the outside of the ring. Matt Hardy gets distracted. At that point, fans chanting delete, delete. Bo hangs on. And then Dallas takes and drops him with a nice move, with like a neck breaker off the top of the top rope. It was really a nice move, but then he gets the pin. Bo Dallas wins clean again. 1, 2, 3. After that, the lights go out. Hardy and Bray attack the B team. Tell them they'll see him this weekend. Then we go from there. We get a couple of backstage. We get a backstage segment with Bobby Lashley. Basically saying that, man, everybody he's been in the ring with, he's had respect for, even Sami Zayn, but he has zero respect for Roman Reigns. He can't wait to see him this weekend. He's going to beat him 1, 2, 3, and then he turns back and says, you know, believe that. First of all, Bobby Lashley is not believable in any promo he cuts. He doesn't sound intimidating. He doesn't sound like he's vicious. He doesn't sound like anybody to be afraid of. There's no inflection in his voice. Everything is monotone, the same. I don't know if you're happy, sad, glad, constipated. I don't know. I don't know what the hell you're doing. So again, we come back from break. Tyler Breeze is backstage, telling Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan they need to call him for fashion tips. They tell him that's not their shtick. They don't do fashion, they do riots. We get another update from Bayley and Sasha Banks. Basically, they still going back and forth. This shit really should be on Total Divas. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. We're going to move on. Then we get a backstage segment talking about Ronda Rousey's recent UFC Hall of Fame induction and how she'll be at ringside. And then we get a quick promo from Miss Bliss.
And I thought being Raw Women's Champion was the biggest joy in my life. But nothing was more exhilarating than hearing the sound of a kendo stick hitting Nia Jax's flesh over and over and over again. Now it's just a small taste of pain because I'm saving the rest for Sunday. And what's even better is that overhyped rookie Ronda Rousey will be front row center to watch and hear me end Nia for good. Yeah, Nia can say whatever she wants about me. But after Sunday, she will call me Extreme Raw Women's Champion.
Moving on. Ember Moon and Liv Morgan, once again, for like the third week in a row. Why are they fighting? We have no clue. Pretty quick match. Excuse me, nothing really much to see here. Ember Moon wins. With a bridge pin. She bridged her, pinned her. Let's move on. Finn Balor's backstage with Bobby Roode, pretty much hyping up their tag team match tonight, facing Elias and Constable Baron Corbin. Again, where is the real Finn Balor, and can you get this cheap impression of him out of the ring? I need the Demon King back. Bobby Roode, same thing. Like, man, where is the glorious 3-piece suit wearing Bobby Roode? Like, man, this is just, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Elias comes in. You know, man, we come back from break. Elias is in the ring. He does he does his wonderful, you know, play to the crowd. As he introduces Constable Baron Corbin. Corbin comes down and asks Elias if he could do a song. You know, man, if he would help him do a song. So this guy, this grown man, starts singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider about another grown man, Finn Balor, saying he wants to sing him a little lullaby. I ain't never wanted to sing another grown man a lullaby. That's just me personally. But to each his own. So then they come out, you know, they cut it off, they come out. Finn Balor comes out, Bobby Roode comes out. Pretty good. It was a decent match. Went back and forth for a little while. Corbin runs around the ring. They were in and out, in and out. Corbin runs into the ring. They collide. They both go down after a couple of clothesline attempts, him and Roode, that is. Elias and Balor tag in at the same time. Balor takes Elias down. Balor decks Corbin out on the apron, stomps Elias in the midsection, and then nails Corbin in the corner. Balor then sends Elias out to the floor and runs the rope for a dive to Elias, but Corbin grabs his leg from behind and trips him up. Elias came from behind. Elias comes from behind as Balor's attention was focused on Corbin at that time. And then Elias dropped Balor to take control. Then they go to commercial. Balor gets out of the locks, makes a comeback. Corbin drops him with an uppercut for a 2 count. Elias comes back in, keeps control of Balor. Balor was really worked over for a little while. Corbin taunts Roode before going back to work on Balor. Then Balor hits him with a sling blade and hits Roode for the hot tag. Roode finally tags in, gets Elias knocked off the apron. They go back and forth. Then Roode goes on top to get Corbin. Corbin catches Roode by his throat on the way down. Hits a backbreaker, choke slam combo. Balor breaks up the pin, sends Elias back to the floor. Then he runs the rope for a drop. Balor then runs the ropes for a drop kick on Elias, but Corbin nails him from the side. Roode rolls Corbin up for another 2 count. Off the distraction, Roode drops Corbin again, hits a blockbuster for a 2 count, and then Elias breaks up the pin. They go back and forth, back and forth. Corbin charges at Roode, but gets sent to the ring post. Roode signals for the glorious DDT as the crowd gets loud with him. Elias runs in. Roode hits him with a spine buster. Corbin takes advantage and hits him with the end of days from behind and rolls Roode up for the pin. So your winners by pinfall were Baron Corbin and Elias. Kevin Owens again. We cut backstage. He's in Angle's office eating. Braun Strowman storms in. Owens jumps behind Angle, telling him to keep Braun away from him. You know, man. And he says, man, you know, I just wanted to call you in here to let you know that you guys indeed have a match in a steel cage Sunday at Extreme Rules. So that was pretty much it. You know, man, it was pretty much just setting it up, making it a confirmation that we got a steel cage match Sunday between Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Why don't they like each other? I don't know. Back from the break, we get another quick look at Sasha and Bayley in counseling. And it doesn't look like it's going well, so Cole says that they're going to have to report to Kurt Angle on next Monday's Raw. Once again, Renee Young is backstage with Roman Reigns. Reigns doesn't think it was reckless to provoke Lashley, blah, 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 blah. No one cares. I'm tired of Roman Reigns. Then for the match of the night, the main event, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Pretty good damn match. Pretty good damn match. Both of these guys can work. Drew McIntyre needs to be in the hunt for a championship belt. They locked up, went back and forth for a long time. Rollins nails a nice drop kick, but it doesn't do anything to Drew. Drew comes back with another power move for a close 2 count. Of course, Ziggler is outside egging this guy on. Drew performs another pin attempt. Fans are chanting, burn it down, burn it down. Rollins tries to fight back. Does a good job. He gets up. Drew blocks a hip toss and floors Rollins with a clothesline. McIntyre keeps Rollins grounded for a few more minutes. It was a lot of ground. Man, he kept him grounded for the first good part of this match. Rollins runs the ropes, nails a suicide dive. Drew still standing after the suicide dive. Drew then drives Rollins into the edge of the apron. McIntyre rolls him up for another 2 count. Ziggler cheers. Let's see. Rollins creates an opening, but then Drew grabs him for a suplex. Rollins blocks him with a knee to the face. Rollins then sends Drew onto the turnbuckles and had him in a tree of woe. So he gets up on top of the on the top turnbuckle. The Seth Rollins, I guess he was gonna do a suicide stomp. I don't know what he was gonna do, but basically McIntyre does a sit up from the tree of woe position, grabs Rollins and hip tosses him from the top. Hip tosses him from the top turnbuckle onto the mat, and then does a handstand and flips over back to his feet. That was a great spot. And then after that, Drew waits for Rollins to get back up. He charges in for the Claymore, but Rollins super kicked him. And then Rollins does a Falcon Arrow for another pin attempt. But Drew avoids the ripcord knee and drops Rollins with a headbutt for another 2 count. Drew then picks up Rollins on his shoulder, climbs to the second turnbuckle. Rollins slides out, turns it into a buckle bomb. And then Rollins then follows up with a super kick. He goes to the top rope, but then Ziggler runs at him on the apron. Rollins then kicks Ziggler. Man, the distraction worked. And then Drew nails him. Then Drew got up, as using the distraction. Kicks him. And then turns around. Man, he kicked him. And then as soon as, he put his attention back on McIntyre. Hit him with a Claymore. Drew wins 1, 2, 3. And basically, after that, McIntyre stand tall with his arms raised. Man, McIntyre carries Ziggler up the ramp on his back, and Raw went off the air. Overall, it was a pretty boring show. It was a lot centered around the whole Roman Reigns beef. Not very much in the sense of building up the Sasha Banks Bayley feud anymore. Not anything on tag team wrestling. Drew McIntyre, the McIntyre Ziggler Rollins story, that's money. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a Dean Ambrose sighting at Extreme Rules. Maybe he'll come out and be in Seth's corner. Other than that, it was a pretty lackluster episode of Monday Night Raw. It's pretty much all I have to say about it. As far as Extreme Rules is concerned, really the only match that I'm interested in seeing from the Raw side of things is probably Ziggler Rollins. And just for the sheer entertainment value, because Braun Strowman's always entertainment, Strowman and Owens. But other than that, there's nothing too exciting. I don't really care about Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss again. I just don't. And so with that being said, we're going to end this review. If you like what you heard, feel free to subscribe, comment, and follow down below. You can catch us at TLT Podcast on YouTube, at TLT Pod on Twitter, TLT Pod 1 on Facebook, and TLT Pod 1 on Instagram. Once again, my name is Lucky Luciano. This was Tables, Ladders, and Talk Monday Night Raw review for July 7th, 2018. And you guys have a wonderful day.